Oh, he smoked that mud. That's so fun. He come off, I think. He smoked that thing. I think he come off. No, he's still in there. Maybe he just had a lot of dog in him when he bit it, because that was a hard bite. It ain't no bad one. Get your big butt up in here. You talking about a buzzbait bite. He's not much funner than that. That's one of the deals. So with the Strike King skipping buzzbait, you see I drug that dude through all that plastic. It's ready to go back fishing because of the wire keeper we have. That's a pretty big fish, and he did not straighten my buzzbait out. Most buzzbaits would be a mess. You'd be trying to get them back together so they'd run straight. With the little unique wire keeper we have, that's not an issue at all. So when you think about buzzbait fishing, it's just, other than wintertime, it's a year-round technique. And you know, one of my favorite things about it is you can just cover so much water. You know, if you're walking the dog with a stick bait or pop-oar, it's slow. But anytime you can catch them on something, you can cover water. You're gonna make more casts throughout the day. It's gonna increase your percentage of putting it in front of fish. And again, you're gonna catch more. So the number one thing for me about a buzzbait is I can cover so much water, and it's a big fish technique. So you catch big ones, you cover a lot of water, you catch a lot of fish when conditions are right, and conditions are perfect today with it cloudy. And you can catch them in the sun as long as you got a lot of wind. But today, front coming in, cloudy, a little bit of breeze, that is ideal conditions to put a buzzbait in your hand, cover a ton of water, and have a lot of fun. And it's pretty easy to fish. You know, you just throw it out, wind it in, and here's the deal. You throw, get the buzzbait on top, you wind, here's the trick. When your heart hits your butthole, jerk. You know, we've kind of evolved in our buzzbait fishing where we mostly use plastics instead of skirts. It originally because I could skip it so well. This is buzzbait, the Strike King skipping buzzbait. It's designed to skip. But another deal is you can change your plastics, you can change your colors. I use a raised bug, scound bug. This is the rage swimmer or frog. There's so much you can do with it so fast. And that plastic gives the fish something to key on. And it just seems like they eat it better. You just catch them better with plastic than you would a skirted bait. So here's the trick with this is the Strike King skipping buzzbait. It's the best plastic toting buzzbait there is, in my opinion. One reason is because of that keeper. But when you're rigging it, here's the deal. So come all the way till your plastic touches the lead, like that. And then you know it's time to come out with the hook point. Get it good and wet. Now remember them barbs on there. Slide it up. Now here's a big key. Most of the buzzbaits we always use was just round heads, and the plastic would turn. If you got a frog, right now I got a rage swimmer. But if you get that one perfectly straight and you remember them barbs, just take your fingers, sink them barbs into the side of the plastic. Now the plastic won't turn on the hook and it'll run perfectly straight every time. That's the key to rigging it. And them barbs will hold that plastic on there straight and from sliding down. God almighty, that might be a big one. Jump, big boy, or big girl. Girls are bigger in this sport. He's got a face full of skipping buzzbait. See, that's that. Get up in here. That's that plastic. He ate the plastic, and then you get them really good. But here's the deal about this buzzbait, this particular buzzbait with that wire. That's the second big one I've caught. Drug them through all that lily pads. There's no readjusting. There's no doing anything. You just go straight back to fishing, and your buzzbait's gonna run just like it came out of the pack. So buzzbait's a pretty weedless bait. You can bring it through just about anything. So it's gonna deflect, and the hook's gonna kick away from just about everything. As you see, I can wind it through these pads no problem, but one of the keys is point your rod straight at it. Don't know why, it just really helps. And you can just steady wind through the pads, don't jerk, just keep winding, and man, it'll walk right through there. We had one just a minute ago. The buzzbait was actually on top of a pad and the fish tried to get it. It's almost like a frog, you know? We would think, if you see this situation, a lot of times you wouldn't think of buzzbait, you would think frog, but man, that buzzbait it'll just walk right through there. And even a lot of times when it's coming over the pads and stuff, that's when you trigger the bites. You know, it's kind of jumping out of the water, much like a frog. And that's when the bites will be triggered. But it's a very, I don't want to call it weedless, snagless, you know. It ain't gonna come across a hydrilla mat like a frog, but if you got lily pads or any type of brush or shoreline grass, you know, buzzbait will walk right through there, especially one where you put plastic on there. It seems to make it even that much more weedless. Yeah, on a buzzbait, there's kind of two schools of thought. One is braid, and then, you know, one is monofilament or fluorocarbon. For me, I'm a fluorocarbon guy. That's kind of a personal preference deal. I don't like braid. I feel like I jerk it away from too many fish. I tear a hole in their mouths and I lose a lot more fish on braid just because it puts such a big hole in their mouth. I'm fishing lily pads today. I've had no problem with the fluorocarbon, but again, that's kind of a personal preference thing. I know guys that's really good, they swear by braid. I know guys that's really good, they swear by fluorocarbon. Fluorocarbon to me is the best of both worlds. Monofilament's got a lot of stretch, braid has zero stretch, fluorocarbon has low stretch. And for me, that's the best of both worlds. So that's the big debate. As far as rod goes, I like a longer rod. This is actually a 7.3 Team Loop Signature Series Thunder Cricket rod. It's my Thunder Cricket rod. It's got a lot of the same properties when you talk about a rod. So that's what I throw my buzzbait on. It's pretty stiff, so I got a lot of backbone to drive that hook through, drive that fluorocarbon through. But then I got tip, so it'll load up and I can really launch it. Or if I'm target fishing, I can be really, really accurate also. High-speed reel, I use the Lew's Pro SP skipping pitching reel. It's got plenty of line, throw a buzzbait on. And it's high speed. I actually use the 8-3-1. Just get that buzzbait back up on top of the water fast and just really lowers the fatigue on you. There's not a lot of drag, so a lot of spinner baits and thunder crickets, you know, I wouldn't throw on a high-speed reel because there's so much drag and so much torque on you. It's pretty hard. There's not a lot with a buzzbait, so you can wind it with a high-speed reel. So I use the high-speed 8-3-1 Lew's Pro SP, my Thunder Cricket rod. So it's the Signature Series Thunder Cricket bladed jig rod, but it could be called a buzzbait rod. 20-pound Strike King Contra fluorocarbon. That's my setup. I've caught a lot of fish on buzzbait. I have a lot of confidence that this is the right setup. He smoked that thing. I did that one perfectly. He smoked it and then I hesitated. If you wanna, whenever they smoke it, come here, buddy. Whenever they smoke it, you just hesitate just for a second before you jerk, and it really allows them to eat that bait and you'll just catch them so much better. It's so much fun. But look, again, this is the third good one we've caught. Do nothing, the buzzbait's still perfectly in shape, and you go right back to fishing. You may tear your plastic up, but they're not gonna tear the buzzbait up.